Hi everybody, how's everyone doing out there? You all okay? Mark here, and yes, it's another haul video. It seems like about 2 weeks since the last time I did one. How you doing out there? Everyone all right? Yeah? Cool? Fantastic, this is what I like to hear. I've been having a bit of technical difficulty with this video tonight. Surprise, surprise. So I'm sort of like having a look to see which link is actually working. So if there's any point at this night where I'm sort of like not concentrating on what I'm doing on here, I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here, it's because I'm trying to get the links working in different places. But we shall see. We shall see how that goes. So yes, how is everybody out there? It's been hot. It's been really, really hot today. Absolutely ridiculously hot. I don't think it's been the hottest day of the year so far, but it's been close, very close. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, other than me disappearing in my own sweat, what else has been happening recently? Trying to think. I really do lead a rather tedious and boring life. I really do. It is literally, I've said this plenty of times before, it's literally get up, go to work, go home, have something to eat, and go to bed. And the only thing that really sort of like, you know, gives me any sort of like credentials, I suppose, in being cool and hip is comic books. Right, I'm just going to quickly check to see which one of these videos has started. Aha! It's this one. So excuse me a minute. This is not. There we go. Just putting a link up to the video that is actually working. There we go. Because I've got 3 people watching the other video. But yeah, Google, I don't know whether it was Google or my provider that had the problem. Maybe it was like a team effort between the 2 of them. But they just weren't working together. Really annoying. So I had to turn my laptop off, turn it back on again, check me box over there, and oh, it was a mess, I'll tell you. But anyway, I've done that. We hopefully should have some viewers now. Oh, I love modern technology, don't you? It's such a wonderful thing, especially when it's not in the hands of stupid people like me. Right, anyway, you didn't come here to see me show my ineptitude of using computers and modern technology, did you? No, you come to see comics. You come to see the comics. And as always, I didn't think I would have enough comics to show you guys and people and everybody else out there, whoever's watching. But I think I have. I think I actually have got enough comics. Now, where should we start? Should we start where I usually start? Should we start with the little village shop, the little post office shop in the village that I used to live in, with the collections and the piece collections and that, shall we? Shall we? Okay. Here we go. Hang on. First of all, one that I neglected to show you guys out there last time was this one from the Marvel's Mightiest Heroes collection. It's the Warriors 3. There you go. Now, hang on a second, I've got to remember. This is issue 13. Side issue, that one, 32? Yeah, 32. There you go. And it features Warriors 3 numbers 1 to 4, and the stories that ran through Marvel Fanfare number 34 to 37. So that's pretty good going. Not bad. There you go. I haven't read that one yet. I'll sort of flick through it. And there's also a couple of bits of cardboard in there, well, a bit of paper, telling people about the Twitter page for this and everything. If you're interested in what the Twitter page is, put it in the comment section down below, and I'll read it out to you. I've got no problem with that. Let's do that up there. Keeping on the Marvel Mightiest Heroes collection, we've got number 14, which is Cyclops, which features the Marvel's Icons miniseries Cyclops numbers 1 to 4 and X-Men Origins Cyclops number 1. I'm going to open this up because we're going to see if there's any bits of paper in this as well. And no, there's not. No free bits of paper. But I really do enjoy these. This and the black one, the Ultimate Marvel graphic novel collection, they're just brilliant. I really cannot praise these enough. I mean, they're just worth money. They're just worth the money that you pay for them. I mean, £9.99 for that hardback book. You know, you would definitely pay more than £9.99 for something like that if you bought it in a comic shop or in a bookshop. Definitely worth having. Definitely worth having. There you go. Right. Now, the other piece collection that I only get 3 piece collections now, because that's all I can afford at the moment, unfortunately. The other piece collection that I get is the Doctor Who figurine collection, and the next one is this one here is part 23, which is the Zygon from the 50th anniversary special Day of the Doctor. There you go. And if you haven't known, if you don't know this yet, if you sort of like have left the planet to go somewhere else, or if you've been living under a rock or in some part of the world that hasn't had any internet connection for about 3 or 4 months, you probably won't know that the 8th season of Doctor Who with Peter Capaldi on it starts on the 23rd of August. And can I just say, I called it. I called that one. I knew that it was going to be a bank holiday weekend because they like starting Doctor Who on bank holiday weekends. Either the Easter bank holiday weekend or the August bank holiday, which is the last Monday of August in the UK. Yeah, again, really enjoying this series. Really enjoying this series. Great figurines. I don't know if you can see that without any glare. There it is, there's the Zygon. I don't know if they'll do another one for the classic series of Zygons, like the original ones. Of course, this is a more updated version of the Zygon. But it would be nice to be able to have 2. This version and the classic version. That would be pretty cool. And hopefully they use these a bit more often as well than just the you know, the special, the one-off. Well, twice now they've used them. Let's stick that up there. There you go. And of course, every week. Well, no, for me it's every fortnight, but it comes out every week. It's got to be done. The Galaxy's Greatest Comic, 2000 AD. Here we have Prog 1888. There you go. And if you've been picking up, people in America and Canada and the rest of the world, and also in this country, in the UK, if you've been picking up the IDW series Brass Sun, in this issue of 2000 AD, issue 1888, it's the start of the 2nd story of Brass Sun, the next story. So I'll just show you, just to prove, because this is where Brass Sun started. Okay, this is where it started. Do you want to get a quick sneak preview? Spoilers? Shall we say spoilers? For anybody who's actually reading Brass Sun in the IDW American comic format, all right? Spoilers, all right? I'm going to show you the first 2 pages here and now of Brass Sun. Is it volume 2? It's called Brass Sun Floating Worlds, part 1. Do you want to see it? Yeah? Yeah, you want to see it. You want it? Okay. If you don't want to see it, look away now. It's literally going to be seconds. Count to 10 and then come back. All right? Put your fingers in your ears. Yeah. Put your hands over your eyes. Yeah. You can do it. Come on. All right. Okay. Ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Spoilers. There you go. I'm sure that didn't give too much away. Right, you can come back now. You can take your hands away from your eyes and take your fingers out your... They'll come back. Don't worry. They'll be back. And as well as that, next up, 2000 AD, 1889, getting so close to the 1900th issue of 2000 AD. 1,900 issues. Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this obviously has part 2 of Floating Worlds of Brass Sun, but I won't show you that one. I won't show you that. So yeah, awesome. If you can't read out what it says on there, it says, back off, creeps. He's sensitive. There you go. With my best Judge Dredd voice. Right, so there we go. That's those. That's all those bits and pieces there. Let's have a quick look on the comments, shall we? Comments? Any comments? It's just loading up. We have Cooley Movies. What happened with the Doctor Who argument you had last night and the Housewives' fantasies? Oh, yeah, well, I wouldn't say it was an argument, but it was... I was just getting cheesed off with all these people, and I hate to say it, no disrespect to anybody who's new to Doctor Who and everything, but the majority of it did seem to be from women who were complaining that Peter Capaldi was too old to play Doctor Who. And I've got a bit of a problem with not having any sort of real inner monologue. You know, I mean, if the path between the words being in my head and them coming out of my mouth, or as in the terms of the internet, on the computer, on the keyboard, there seems to be a short path, a shortcut between those two things. And in real life, my brain doesn't sort of like usually say, you might not want to say that out loud, you know. And I sort of like, even though I think that David Tennant and Matt Smith did really good jobs, I think, for me anyway, David Tennant is only second to Tom Baker at being the best Doctor Who that there's been. Matt Smith, as I've said to plenty of times before, he was okay. It was his Doctor was enjoyable to watch. Wouldn't say it was the best Doctor there's been, but he's certainly not the worst Doctor there's been. Personally, I don't think there's really been a worse Doctor, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned. There's sort of varying sort of stages of good. But anyway, again, as I said, I think David Tennant and Matt Smith did really good jobs at what they did with Doctor Who. But I likened them in the heat of the moment to housewives. Was it middle-aged housewives' masturbatory fantasies? Which sort of, you know, went down like a lead balloon. You know, for some unknown reason, I don't know why. But I mean, to me, to turn around and say Peter Capaldi is too old to play the Doctor just seems ridiculous when the character of the Doctor is, if you add it all up, is around about 2,000 years old. So how old is the actor supposed to be to play a 2,000-year-old Gallifreyan Time Lord who has two hearts and travels around in a time machine that's bigger on the inside and looks like an old 1960s blue British police box? How old are they supposed to be? Exactly. They can be any age. You could have, I mean, if somebody like John Hurt, who, as far as I know, is older than Peter Capaldi, nobody complained about him playing the War Doctor. Alright, okay, he was only in one episode. He did a fantastic job at playing the Doctor. I think he was absolutely, for that one episode, he was a brilliant part for, yeah, that was brilliantly played by him as the War Doctor. But yeah, it just irks me, and it's, again, I've got nothing against people who start things, because everybody's got to start somewhere, you know. But if you don't like something, fine. If you don't like the fact that it's Peter Capaldi playing the Doctor, fine. if you don't like the fact that they change the actors every so many years, seems a bit silly, because that's part of the premise of the show, that he changes every so many, years or 100 years or whatever. But if you don't like that, fine. But don't use the fact that you think Peter Capaldi is too old to play the Doctor just because you haven't got some young, fresh-faced little oik on the screen prancing around, jumping about, that you can't fantasize over taking you off on some sexy adventure through time and space. There you go. I said it. I know I'm probably going to get thumbs downs for this, but there you go. I don't care. So yeah, there you go. That was the sort of quite long actually answer to that. And Anthony Thurman, evening sir. Hope you're okay. Long week for me, as I am making 4 trays of burgers a day. So I am so tired, and watching your vids help mate keep them viewers going, dude. I shall do, man. Thank you very much for commenting and watching. I'm waiting for the backlash now from all these housewives. And again, how dare you say I'm middle-aged? Oh, this is terrible. And the Mahoney Show. Hi, Mark. Hi, man. How you doing? Great to see you. I know that on the other video, Costa Bromstar was watching. I hope he got the message that that video isn't working. This video is. Hope, fingers crossed, he got the message. Right, and we're back. Hello. Wow, it's hot in here. Right. What should we do now? I know what. The day after I did my last haul video, which was when my Forbidden Planet comic book haul video, if you will, I went to the boot sale. Something I hadn't done for about, I think, figured out. It's been about 2 years since the last time I went to a boot sale in this area, up at the top of the town that I live in. There's this like big open field. The whole town's surrounded by fields. It's basically a town in the countryside sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, it's been ages since I've been to a boot sale out there, or any boot sale, come to think of it. And I thought, oh, I'll go out. The girlfriend wanted to go out. She didn't want to stay in all day on that Sunday. It was a nice day. So I thought, yeah, okay, we'll go have a look for a boot sale. And I'm glad I did. I really am glad I did. There was somebody up there who was, and this is where I've got to try and figure out if I've got everything that I had. Where is it? Ah, there we go. Yeah, sorry. There was somebody out there that was actually saying trade paperbacks and prestige format one-shots. If you don't know what a prestige one-shot, yeah. If you don't know what a prestige one-shot format is, I will show you in a minute. But they were selling trade paperbacks, graphic novels, one-shots, all that stuff on there for £2 each. That's brilliant. They had about, I would say about sort of like, what's about 15 books there? 15 books. Now some of them I already had. No problem. Some were comics that I didn't have, but they were the British Titan Press reprints of the comics that were already published by DC, and the only difference would be that instead of having the DC badge on the comic or on the front of the cover, it had the Titan publication badge on there. I'll show you what I mean in a minute as well. They had a load of Superman, Batman trade paperbacks there, but I looked through them and I realised that I had most of them in single issues, so it's a bit, a bit pointless me having them in trade as well. But these are what I picked up. I picked up 3 books from that place. First one is Thunderbolts: Faith in Monsters, which is the Warren Ellis and Mike Deodato Jr. run on there. I think this is the first book on this, seeing that it's got volume 1 on the side there. I'm imagining it is. So there you go. Without the glare, there you go. Without the glare, there you go. And this reprints or collects, shall I say, Thunderbolts 110 to 115, the Thunderbolts Desperate Measures one-shot, and stories from Civil War, Choosing Sides, and the Initiative. I was going to say Illuminati, but it's not. It's the Initiative. So there you go. So I got that. £2. Pretty good condition. Then another thing that they had on there that we get in the UK, I've seen a lot. If you buy trade paperbacks and graphic novels and that in bookshops in the UK, on the back, normally if you get it from a comic shop, you get that. Yeah, Marvel or DC or whatever, and it's got the barcode. No worries. If you get them from bookshops in the UK, a lot of them have got a stamp, a sticker, stuck over the top of that barcode. And it's not just a sticker that just goes over that bit there and it's just because there's a different barcode. No, the sticker usually covers the whole of this bit. It's a massive, great big sticker. It looks bloody ugly, I tell you. And that was one of the other reasons why I didn't pick up the Superman Batman trades as well, because a lot of them had the sticker on there. It looked like somebody tried to rip the sticker off. Some of them had the sticker half on and had a sticky patches all over the back. Others just had the book ripped off completely, where they tried to get the sticker off. So, you know, such is life in the UK, unfortunately, when it comes to things like that. But yeah, looking forward to reading that. That was okay. That was pretty cool. And also, I managed to pick up this as well, which is absolutely awesome for £2. It's one of these things that I've always sort of toyed with picking up, but I don't know. I've wanted to pick them up, but either the timing was never right, or I just couldn't, grasp of spending that much money on a black and white copy, a reprint book of these stories, even though there are 500 pages in them. This is the Showcase Presents Green Lantern Volume 1. There you go, 500 pages, that thick, £2. Yes, thank you, I'll take that. Classic Green Lantern stories. This reprints Showcase 22. Where is it? It said it's around here somewhere. I think it's Showcase 22 to 22, 23, 24, and Green Lantern 1 to 7, I think it is. Oh no, sorry, Green Lantern 1 to 17. They are even better. So yeah, so Showcase 22, 23, 24, and Green Lantern issues 1 to 17. £2. And I'm really glad I picked it up. I am really happy about this. There you go. That's what I meant by black and white. It's just a black and white one. It's reprints. It's a really good way. I suppose it is a really good way of getting a chance to read the old comics, and in a way, the artwork in here looks pretty cool in black and white. I mean, I don't know whether it's because I was used to reading black and white comics, because that's what we had in the UK. I mean, with the weekly comics we had, even with things like 2000 AD, most of the comics were black and white. You might have had colour pages on the front and back page, and then 2, maybe 4 pages in the middle of the comic were colour, but every other page on that comic were black and white. So I'm not averse to black and white comics. I'm used to reading them, and again, sometimes the artwork, I don't think my camera's doing this justice, but sometimes the artwork looks really cool in black and white. So there you go, I've got that. And I also picked this up for £2. I used to have this, and I wish I never sold it. Really wish I never sold it. But I'm so glad I picked it up again. And it is I suppose you could say, the sequel to Batman Year 2, which was in Detective Comics and yeah, those 4. Yeah. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was, I want to say something like Detective Comics 500 and something. I can't remember. Google it. Batman Year 2. Really good. But this is like a sequel to it. It's Batman Full Circle. fantastic story by Mike Barr and Alan Davis with Mark Farmer on the inks and that. Awesome stuff. Really happy I managed to pick this one up again. Really happy with that. But that's not all, because as I was wandering around this big field of all these people in their cars with their boots open and that, selling their tat, I saw somebody selling some old British annuals. Yes. Oh, excellent stuff. Fantastic. Well, there were other people selling annuals up there as well, but they were things like Beano and Dandies, which I don't mind getting the, I suppose because they're kids' annuals, but I prefer getting the ones that were published by Fleetway, like Whizzer and Chip, Cheeky, Core, those ones. Beano and Dandies, they're okay, but they're a little bit sort of same old sort of thing. And as well as that, most of the time you can pick up most Beanos and Dandy annuals from the 80s to now for like £1.50 each. They're easy to get hold of. I think I might even have near enough a complete collection of Beanos and Dandy annuals from the 80s to now, just from picking them up in boot sales and charity shops and that. But anyway, yes, there was somebody selling a set of annuals for 50p each. How could I say no? These are the British Action Weekly comic, not to be confused with Action Comics, obviously Superman. This was a series, a weekly comic in the UK that it sort of dealt with more action and thriller stories. It was derived at the day for its violence, or supposed violence, in the comic, and they had to tone it down, and unfortunately the kids weren't interested. Once they started toning down the violence in it, the kids weren't interested in reading it, so it slowly faded away, and it merged in, what was it, the early 80s with the comic Battle Weekly, which was a war comic that was also a weekly British comic. But anyway, Action Annual number 77. Yeah, all these cost me 50p each. Brilliant stuff. And 79 and 80. Now they got, I think 77 was unclipped, but 79 and 80 were clipped. And if you're wondering what I mean by clipped, I've explained this before, but I've got no problem explaining again. In the UK, as I've said plenty of times before, kids used to get these for Christmas, and so the little kiddlywinks didn't realise that it wasn't Santa Claus. Sorry, spoilers there. It wasn't Santa Claus that was giving them their presents. It was mum and dad spending their hard-earned cash, not Santa Claus just frivolously chucking presents down the chimney at them. They would cut out these bits here that had the price on them. So they would cut out very carefully along this bit here. It didn't damage. It would have damaged that story there. It would have damaged that story there, but most of the time it didn't do any any terrible thing to any stories or that. But that was what it would look like. And then for me to say that an annual is clipped means that it's had the price bit cut out. So whoever it was who owned this annual originally on Christmas Day in 1979 would have thought, oh, Santa Claus it's got me present for me. It's got me Action Comics. Yeah, that's so cool. Mum and Dad, why don't you buy me presents like that? You're not cool. Santa Claus is cool. Sort of thing. So there you go. So that's when I say, if you hear me say clipped, unclipped, that's what it means. So I'm going to do something a bit gross here. It's so hot here. I've got a fan down there, and the only thing it's doing is making my feet an ice box. Oh, sorry. There you go. I haven't got a makeup lady, and there's no cuts. This is all live. So I've just got a... Oh, good golly, Miss Murray. Louis Armstrong, when he played the trombone on the moon. I really do. Right. Let's have another look, see if there's any more comments. See if there's any more comments. It's loading. It's loading. Red Warren, did you read Flash 32 last week? I shall tell you in a moment. And oh, and as well as that, hey Mark, I'm late. That's all right, man. So am I. I'm late as well. Google, my internet provider, really weren't having. Yeah, I explained it at the beginning. No. And at the moment, that's all we have for comments other than the ones we've had previously. Yep. Cool. Right. More comics. I don't know if I am just extremely lucky, or whether it's like a sixth sense, or what, or whether it's like a superpower. But it seems that at the moment, anyway. Well, no, actually not at the moment. Everywhere I go, I manage to pick up comics. It's as simple as that. No matter where I go on holiday to Holland when I first was going over there when my girlfriend was living in Holland with her parents, and I find there's comic shops in Holland. Yeah, brilliant. I go to Switzerland, and all right, okay, they've got the Panini reprints that you usually get in the UK here, but then I go to an old antique shop, and in there they've got reprints of Looney Tune cartoon and comics in Italian and in German and in French. What was it? Last month I went to Winchester, and I went into an Oxfam in Winchester, and they had comics in there. And this month, I went to Basingstoke, and you'll never guess what I found. You will never guess. I won't show you the comics just yet. I've got. I'll show you this first. I popped into the works because it's got to be done when you go into a new town or city. You got to go into the works if you're a comic book collector like me, just in case they've got anything interesting in there, like a graphic novel or a book, or they're selling their 2 for 99p comics that they used to do. There wasn't any comics that you could sort of really talk about, or any trades or anything in there, but they had this in here. In there, it was £1.99, and I saw it and I thought, yeah, that looks very cool. For £1.99, I can live with getting that. And worst comes to worst, I can always just use the tin as like a decoration, plus also to hold things in as well. So I picked it up. This is it. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. Wonder Woman playing card game set. Wonder Woman playing card game set. And it's a card games book, 2 decks of playing cards, and 5 dice. There's the back of it. Okay, there's a nice tin, you know. It's just basically 2 bits of, you know, sticky paper stuck on a metal tin. Inside, there's the game book, and it just shows you how to play things like solitaire. Sorry, Purdy. There you go. Sorry, girl. You don't jump on the points. You know that by now. Yeah, shows how to play things like gin, whist, blackjack, backgammon. I don't know what names of card games are. The only card game I'm really any good at is Magic the Gathering, and I'm not really that good at that either. Oh, solitaire. Although sometimes I do beat myself at that. Or patience, as it's called. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, and I thought, oh, maybe. Oh yeah, there's the dice as well. Usual normal pack. I haven't opened them yet. I thought, well, maybe they've got like the cards inside have got something to do with Wonder Woman. I opened it up. Sure enough, there you go. There's Wonder Woman on the back there, and Wonder Woman on the back there. I was like, oh, cool. That's all right. That's pretty cool. Wonder if they've got like things like the King as Superman, Jack as, you know, Batman, and the Joker as the Joker, and Wonder Woman as the Queen of, you know. No, it's just normal playing cards. There you go, normal playing cards, but just with Wonder Woman on the back. So £1.99. I can live with that. It's an oddity. It's a semi-interesting bit of tat that I can bring up every now and then. They go, hey, look at this. So that was in the works in Basingstoke. And I was going around having a look and such, and I went into the British Heart Foundation charity shop, and they had a copy of Ultimate Power #3, and I was like, nah, I could pick it up, but it's one comic, you know. I'll look around and see what else there's about. So we went into TK Maxx, which is like a discount, end of the line, last season's clothes shop, but they also sell bits and pieces in there. They sell things like food and such, and you know, not necessarily food, but like condiments, I suppose, and household stuff, and everything like that. Purdy stuff. And I went to the men's clothes section and look at the t-shirts, just in case there's any comic book t-shirts there, because I know when I went to Southampton a couple of months ago, I picked up a Silver Surfer a t-shirt that I got, but there wasn't anything there. So then I went to the toys section of TK Maxx, which, you know, might look a bit peculiar, a 40-year-old bloke walking into the toy section, but I had the comic book t-shirt on, and you know, I was looking around for anything comic booky sort of thing. They had the usual, you know, children's books, early learning books and that, and then they had a pack of 10 comics for £4.99 in there. These are the comics. Well, there's 8 of them anyway. 2 of them I've already got. And I've already given them away to somebody else. So what have we got here? We've got Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., #23. These were all in the pack. £4.99 for 10 comics. X Factor #40, which I think I've already got, but I'll have to have a look at that. Something called The Sire #1. Supposedly it's limited edition. There you go. Superman the Man of Steel #41. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Superman when he was good. A comic called Race Warrior, which I've got issues 2 and 3 of this, which I got from packs from TK Maxx in Salisbury and Southampton. And so this is issue 1 of Race Warrior, supposedly in 32-part series. I've never seen this comic before, and I don't think I've ever seen any other issues of this other than the ones that I've got. So there you go, there's that. Marvel Comics New Universe, DP7 #14. X-Men #44. And Sovereign 7 #6. Again, I'm not too sure if I've already got this one, but yeah. Not too bad. So there you go. So that was that. And then we were going back to the train station. It was getting late in the day, and we were getting a bit tired and that. So we decided to go back to the train station. I was like, I'll just pop in to the British Heart Foundation, and I'll pick up that Ultimate Power comic. You know, I can't remember if I got it or not, but it was 95p. Why not? So I went in there, I picked it up, I looked at it, and I was still having an iron about it. And I walked down this sort of flight of stairs, and for some unknown reason, I just turned around, and as I turned around, as I was on the stairs, there was this little sort of stand on this shelf with a load of other comics in it. So I just went, oh, hang on a second, I'll just take these. Thank you, I'll just have a look at these. And they had the rest of Ultimate Power, which as I was looking through them, I thought, no, actually, I have got this. At least I think I have anyway. And they had Ultimate Fantastic Four. I think they had the first 6 or 7 issues of those. And then they had six or so issues of BPRD, which is the Hellboy. Well, what would you call it? It ties in with Hellboy. But then they had this. The first 5 issues of Hellboy Darkness Calls. They're not in the best of condition, but they're readable. I would say they're probably maybe a fine, you know, if you wanted that. But 95p each. You can't go wrong. And this is actually the first, other than a couple of trade paperbacks that I've been given as presents by people, this is, I think, the first Hellboy comics I've actually bought. There's #2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So yeah, I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon with that. I thought I was going somewhere, just going there, you know, just to get out of the house and just to have a look around somewhere different than this place. And I find that, how fantastic is that? Right. Oh, and as well as that, not only that, I also picked up that Magic the Gathering Journey into Nyx, green and red. There you go. Intro pack. I buy these because I'm still not that good with Magic the Gathering. I still don't really have a clue what I'm doing with the game. I have a set of cards up there that I've been toying with, and I might bring them out one night with a Magic the Gathering game when I go round to Adam's, my Butter One's place, for a Magic the Gathering Friday night games night thing. But yeah, I saw that in the whatever it is called, bookshop that is in Basingstoke, so I picked that up. I thought, why not, you know? And yeah, so there's that. So that's basically everything I've got in Basingstoke. Should we have a look at the comments to see what you guys have got to say? And whilst I'm doing that, I can have a drink. Ooh. Anthony Thurman, that could be a rare item. Which that possible? It's possible. You never know. You never know. Andy Ash, great video as always, Mark. I love the mix of stuff you show. This is my first ever comment on a YouTube video. Hopefully the first of many. Keep up the brilliant work. Well, thank you very much. I actually do feel honoured that it's the first comment you've made on a YouTube video. Thank you. That's awesome. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video as well. And as you said, many more comments to come, hopefully. And I apologise if I pronounce your name wrong. Tevye Smolka. Tevye Smolka, hello. Hi, Mark. Hi, man. How are you? Glad to you join us. And Red Warren, Mark, what do you think of the new Batgirl costume and the creative team as well? Oh, you certainly know how to set fires, don't you? You not. I think I don't really care if I get panned for that. I think what Gail Simone did on Batgirl was at best. I personally think they took a very strong, very strong female character of Barbara Gordon, Oracle. Excuse me, I'm sweating again. Barbara Gordon, Oracle, and they just made her into another Batman wannabe. You know, they for all the things that DC's saying about diversity and wanting to have different people from different walks of life in their comics, they're going a funny way about it by having somebody who is disabled and having them miraculously be healed through nanotechnology for basically stuff that doesn't exist in the real world. You know, it's almost like giving false hope to people who in this world are disabled and they can't get, you know, nanotechnology and all that stuff. You know, I really do believe that what was done with Batgirl was terrible. They had a great Batgirl with Stephanie Brown. They could have done a lot of work with her, but they took the easy road out, and I think Gail Simone's run on Batgirl was pretty pedestrian at best. I've seen the new look Batgirl costume, and quite frankly, all I think of when I see that is Marvel Comics Ms. Marvel. You know, the new one with the is she a Muslim girl? She comes from that background. Yeah, that's all I see when I see the new Batgirl. I look at that and I think, yeah, basically they've seen the success of a character like Ms. Marvel, and they're turning Batgirl into almost a mirror image. Not saying that she's going to be getting the same powers as Ms. Marvel, but they're even looking at the artwork that goes with the new Batgirl. It just looks like they are trying to emulate the success that Marvel's had with Ms. Marvel, and they're just making Batgirl, instead of making her her own character, they're trying to turn her into something else from another comic company. Something like that. Like I said, I know Ms. Marvel's got all these superpowers and Batgirl doesn't, but it just seems like that's what they're trying. That's the angle they're trying to get. The sort of like the teenage girl sort of thing, getting interested in comic books by turning Batgirl into a teenage girl sort of thing, even though in the comics beforehand she's not a teenage girl. She's supposed to be somebody in her early 20s, I believe. Yeah, I know. But there you go. And the creative team as well, I really don't think they're going to be any good. I really don't. I think Gail Simone holds. I think Gail Simone usually is a really good writer. What she did on Birds of Prey and Secret Six were brilliant, and DC were hoping to ride on those coattails with Gail Simone by putting her into the Batgirl comic, and I think people are just going to leave that comic in droves. There you go. That's what I think of it anyway. Yeah. What do you think about it anyway? What do you guys think of if you've seen it? If you haven't seen it, the new Batgirl look, the redesign for Batgirl for the new creative team that's in it. Yeah, Google it and have a look. See what you think. Right. Right, some comics from eBay. Wow, there's loads of comics from eBay, but these few here. Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, #1. There you go, awesome stuff. This is one of the first, I think the very first Chromium cover Valiant did was Bloodshot #1, which is very similar to this one. But this is Turok #1, and if you can see, the actual cover is like a cardstock cover. It's embossed, which is where you get all these dinosaurs on this, like embossed on the card. And then this bit here is like, it's almost like an oversized trading card, but it's shiny, shiny, shiny. Chromium. There you go. And then after that, they did the wraparound full Chromium covers, which, if I remember correctly, the very first one of those was, it was either Bloodshot #0 or X-O Manowar 0. Can't remember which one it was, but it's one of those two that was the first one of the wraparound covers. But yeah, really great stuff. Awesome stuff. And if you saw my video when I came back from Winchester and picked up a load of comics, you'd know that I managed to get nearly a complete set of the Dark Horse series of Comics Greatest World, where Dark Horse tried to emulate the success at the time, which was early 90s, 91, 92, of that Marvel and DC were having, by creating their own superhero universe with in the Dark Horse vein. It was 16 issues. It was 16 one-shot issues, which made up one big story over the course of 16 weeks, 4 months. Yeah. And I managed to pick up 14 of the 16 issues in the Oxfam shop in Winchester. So I went hunting on eBay and found these two, the two that I was missing, which is Barbed Wire and The Machine. So now I have a complete set of that, which is just fantastic. And this little mini series here, if you've been following the exploits on the YCC, your comic book community, on Facebook, if you look for your comic book community, you probably won't be able to find it. It's actually still called YouTube Comic Book Community, but the official title for the page is Your Comic Book Community, or the YCC. But yeah, anyway, if you've been following the trials and tribulations of comic book fans all around the world on the YCC, you will know that I have been after this mini-series for a fair long time, and I've actually managed to pick it up, which is just awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'll make sure I've got them in the right numerical order. There we go. It is from Epic Comics, which was an imprint of Marvel in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, early 90s, I think it was. Was it around about 94, 95 they stopped producing Epic Comics, Marvel? But anyway, it's the Bill Sienkiewicz Stray Toasters. Number one, I've been after this for ages, and ages. And I finally managed to pick it up. It's awesome. Sienkiewicz's artwork in this is just amazing. You know, I go on about things like Richard Corbin and Bill Templesmith's artwork being like beautifully grotesque. This is just, I would, not that I condone the use of taking illegal substances, you understand, but I would love to do acid and read this. It's really, really amazing. Number three. I don't want to spoil the story for it. I haven't read all of these yet. I've only read the first 2 issues, but I don't want to spoil the story of it. That one, I don't know if you can see that. I must take it out of the back. But it's about a serial killer who goes around killing women and children, but all in a specific way. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it. If you can pick this up in trade, which I believe, I don't know, can you see that there? Yeah. Which I believe is quite able to do. You should be quite able to do. It really is a beautiful. I'll show you the artwork inside. There you go. There you go. This is the last issue, but I don't think it's gonna. That's the artwork inside. It's a bit like the artwork in this is a bit like the artwork which was in the Grant Morrison Batman Arkham Asylum, A Strange Place on a Strange Earth, or Strange World, whatever, which is with the subtitle of that. I can't get back in the sleeve. Come on. In you go. There you go. Yeah, the artwork's a bit like... Careful, Purdy. I can see on the video. It's a bit like Dave McKean's artwork in Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. That was it. Bit like the artwork in this. Really, really surreal, almost dreamlike sort of artwork. Really nice, really beautiful. I love that sort of artwork. Painted, freaky stuff. You know, really weird, awesome stuff. Oh, yeah, let's have a look. Do we have any more comments? Do this, and I'll get to the main event. Let's have a look. Where have we got to? Red Warren. Yeah, I think DC is forcing diversity too much. It's all right to create new characters like Ms. Marvel and make her be a Pakistani girl with change, but changing Wally West's character is too much. It's like disrespecting the people that grew up reading Wally West. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. And I think I might leave that for another video. Actually, I might leave that for another video about Wally West. It it really cheeses me off when people use comic books to get across their. I mean, I know people, writers have been doing it for years, getting their political views across, and it's not so much that, but it really cheeses me off when you have people using comic books to get their political views across, or to cause fights. You know, it seems silly that. Birdie, will you stop doing that? It seems silly that you're using something that plenty of people enjoy reading, plenty of people enjoy collecting, and using it for your own agenda. Now, I've got no problem with people like Alan Moore or Grant Morrison or any writers using it for those sort of things, but when you get supposed fans saying that the main reason why people don't like the fact that Wally West is now a black kid is because they're racist, it's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah, okay, there were some people when Miles Morales became Spider-Man, there were some people who were sitting there going, they're not going to buy Spider-Man anymore because it should be Peter Parker and Spider-Man under the mask should be black. Okay, right. But Miles Morales was a completely new character. A completely different character. Yes, he had the same name as Spider-Man, but he was a completely different character. He wasn't Peter Parker as... Oh, she's going mental up here for some reason. It wasn't Peter Parker as, being ethnically changed. It was a completely different character. DC, on the other hand, instead of doing the right thing and giving an ethnic minority their own hero, they just basically took a previous hero and just blackfaced him up. Now, the last thing I heard, people really got cheesed off with things like that. You weren't allowed to have white people having blackface, but doing it in comics is, it's a minefield. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it really bugs me. I've seen so many people on message boards and that saying, "Oh, the only reason why you don't like Wally West being black is because you're racist." Not necessarily to me, but to other people who say Wally West should have ginger hair and be a white kid. I mean, I also think that it's a little bit stereotypical that the first scene you see with the new Wally West is he's committing a crime. Isn't that a bit racial stereotyping and in a way racist? For DC to turn around and say, "Hey, there's this black kid and he's committing a crime, but don't worry, this white guy's going to look after him and turn him around and change his ways." Yeah. Anyway, also Red Warren says, "I think the Batgirl base it." Sorry, Miles. I think the Batgirl basing on the artwork that I've seen will be like an energetic and happy-go-lucky girl, which contradicts the Batgirl that I've read in Batman Eternal that went to patrol Gotham and started beating up people because his dad is in jail. Haha, DC is hurting itself too much. I really don't think anybody at DC Comics has any clue what they're doing. I really don't. Take away the fact that I don't like what's happening at DC Comics at the moment. I really don't think it's like 1 minute you've got editorial saying you can't do that, you must do what we tell you, we're ruling with an iron fist, and the next minute they're going, yeah, do what you want. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's in continuity or not, just carry on, just do what you want. I really, really do not think that DC Comics has a clue what they're doing. And yeah, it's mind-boggling and a little bit heart-wrenching as well, because I'm seeing a comic company that I used to really love reading turn really badly, really quickly. But anyway, again, I'll get off my soapbox. Stop setting fires, will you? Stop. Oh. Oh, dear. You know I push my buttons, you people out there, don't you? You do. Right. Now then. What time do we start this? I don't know. I think I've been going for about an hour now. comics! These are new comics, or newish comics. They've come out like this month, end of last month sort of thing. Some of them turned up too late to be on my last haul video, so I'll show you these now. And others I've been getting over the course of the last few weeks since they've been coming out. And I've actually got them in some kind of order as well. It's amazing, I know. Just get comfortable. Right. I have them in DC, Marvel, and independent order. And then the independents are in alphabetical order, as in the independent. Right. DC and Marvel. We'll go through these ones first. Right. The only DC comic that I have got so far this month has been The Flash, number 32. Can I just say, as much as I hated the way The Flash was being portrayed previously in this book, the previous creative team, as far as I was concerned, were bloody useless. But this creative team are even worse. Seriously. The only reason why I get The Flash now is to keep my collection going. I've got a really big collection of Flash comics from Barry Allen. I don't have a complete set of Barry Allen comics from the original series, but I'm getting close to it. I've got a complete set of the second volume of The Flash with Wally West. I've also got nigh on every single miniseries, annual, one-shot that had The Flash in it. I am a big Flash fan, which is possibly one of the reasons why, again, it really is heart-wrenching for me to see The Flash being portrayed like this. It's rubbish. I got this copy. I got this one specifically because of the Bombshell covers. I did enjoy the Bombshell covers, not all of them. I got the Justice League Dark Bombshell cover, which I showed you on the previous video, and I also got Green Lantern with a Carol Ferris Bombshell cover. I got that one. Did I get the Harley Quinn one as well? Yeah, I did, didn't I? I got a Harley Quinn one as well. I got the Harley Quinn Bombshell one. So yeah, I got the Bombshell version of this. I've got some saying Bombshell was the American Secret Service is going to be trying to figure out what's going on here if they're watching this. Yeah, I really don't enjoy what they're doing with the Flash. I haven't read this one yet. This really goes right at the bottom of the pile. This gets read if I've got nothing else to read. Yeah, that's about it. I only get the Flash to keep my Flash collection going. I'm hoping one day DC will get a creative team that actually knows what they're doing with the Flash. But there you go. And this is Marvel. Let's have a look. Have we got any kind of order here? No. Other than the fact that they're Marvel comics, there is no kind of order whatsoever. Here we go. Let's have a look. Right. Here we go. Fantastic Four number 6. And Fantastic Four number 7. James Robinson is knocking the ball out of the park with this series. I know there's a few people out there that when they saw the Fantastic Four and the outfits, I know one person, Tim, hello mate, you're right. I know you said that all it did was remind you of the Incredibles. I can see where you're coming from, but James Robinson in this has just been, and these last two issues, the original Sin tie-in, I have literally been reading this with my mouth open, going, no, I can't believe it. It's just, yeah, this is one of the few mainstream comics, one of the big two that I have to get every month. It's just been great. James Robinson at his best. If the only James Robinson you've had any contact with has been from Earth 2, chuck those away. Get rid of them. Fantastic Four. is just a great. This is James Robinson at his best, and back to his best. Seriously, it is. Another Original Sin tie-in, Deadpool number 31. I probably am only picking up Deadpool because it's an Original Sin tie-in, but this has been quite a fun read as well. Nothing really to write home about, but still fun read. Fun read. I've been loving this. This has been amazing. Iron Fist, The Living Weapon number 4. I've been loving this. This is great. This and Moon Knight number 5. This, Iron Fist, The Living Weapon, and Moon Knight. Amazing stuff. Moon Knight was one of those characters where I sort of like, I thought to myself, I really need to get into that character. I've dipped in and out of him. I've dipped in and out. That sounded wrong. I've dipped in and out of the character over the course of the last few years and that. I picked up the majority of the previous series of this, which I really enjoyed, and it only went on for about 8 or 9 issues, I think. But this, Warren Ellis has just been doing amazing stuff with this, and the one and done storylines with this, it's just been great. This one, I've got to say, this one reminded me so much of Enter the Dragon, the Bruce Lee movie, as Moon Knight is going through this dilapidated building, beating up the criminals and the mob, the thugs, as he's going along. It really did remind me of the Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon movie. Yeah, I really do like this. I really do like this. I know that I've seen some people going, "Oh no, how can they do Moon Knight like that? Oh no, it's terrible. It's and he's just a knockoff of Batman." But to me, this is how Batman should be, not the guy that they've got in Batman at the moment, who, quite frankly, is supposed to be the world's greatest detective, and he doesn't even know that there's don't get me started again. Don't get me started. Brilliant stuff. I'm really hoping that the next creative team on here does as good as Warren Ellis has done on this one. What else we got? I'll admit I picked this one up purely for the artwork, and I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy this one. The artwork in it was just, I like my trippy stuff. Bill Sienkiewicz, Dave McKean, Ted McKeever. I like my trippy, freaky, freak-out artwork in my comic books. And this is just great. New Avengers Annual number 1 with Doctor Strange in it. I'll give you a taster of the artwork inside here. If you haven't picked this up already, if you can do. I really enjoyed it. I know I spoke to Adam. I know there's a few people that don't like this. I know I spoke to my butter one, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like the artwork in it, but I love this sort of artwork. I love it. It's great. This reminds me of the artwork that you used to get in Swamp Thing, Saga of the Swamp Thing, when Alan Moore was writing it, or when Rick Veitch was writing it as well. I'm terrible with names, so I can't remember the artists were in that, unfortunately. But yeah, really enjoyed that. And the final issue, I still need to get issue 3 of this, the final issue of Deadpool vs. Carnage. I have really been enjoying Cullen Bunn's run with these Deadpool vs. miniseries. I think they're just great. Hilariously funny. Really funny. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Amazing Spider-Man number 3. Got to be done. Really got to be done. And I've also been enjoying this as well. Amazing Spider-Man Learning to Crawl, the point numbering miniseries that they've been doing. This is Amazing Spider-Man 1.3. And again, this has been really good. It's been a look in an avenue of Spider-Man's origin that has never been touched on. As well as that, it doesn't feel like it's been shoehorned in there really badly. It actually feels like, yeah, this could have actually happened between issues 1 and 2 of Amazing Spider-Man, or between issues 15 of Amazing Fantasy and issue 1 of Amazing Spider-Man. I can't remember exactly which ones they were supposed to be, whether it's 1 and 2 of Amazing Spider-Man or issue 15 of Amazing Fantasy and issue 1 of Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, really enjoyed that. And for this part, the final bit, you've got to have some Scotty Young. You do, you've got to have some Scotty Young. I'll admit, when I first saw the very first Scotty Young variant covers, I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm really not. No, variant covers, not interested. No way. And then I think there was one comic, I can't remember which one it was, and the only cover I could get for it was a Scotty Young variant cover. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll pick it up. And I've just fallen in love with them. I think they're just so cute. Legendary Starman #1. There's just something about them. They're just so cute. And I have no problem with saying that. I am a 40-year-old man, and I think that these covers are cute. And this is just awesome. Rocket Raccoon #1, the Scotty Young variant. That's just awesome. Look at the size of that gun. Imagine the size of the pocket he has to carry that thing around. Do you know what? I lied when I said finally, because it's not finally. Let's have a drink. I've got 2 more comics here for the big 2 section. And again, these are the variant covers. I picked this one up because I've got the other 2 covers. I think I've got the other 2 covers. So now I've got all 3 covers for this one. And I picked this one up purely because it's a Scotty Young cover. Spider-Man 2099 #1. I've been really looking forward to reading this. Can't wait to read it. It's. Do you know what a really weird thing is about this? It looks like it's got a lithograph over the top of it, with the way that the webbing is sort of like slightly paler. It looks like it's got a, but it's not a lithograph. It's just a normal cover. I love that. I think that's awesome. Awesome. And the other one is Spider-Man 2099. This is the 3rd part of the triple cover, which was Superior Spider-Man #32. No, Superior Spider-Man #31. It's number 31 or 32. What? Sit down. Never worked with kids and animals, especially not on live shows. Superior Spider-Man #32. I think number 31, 32. Amazing Spider-Man #1. And this one, Spider-Man 2099. So I've got all 3 of those now, which is great. Are you sniffing my comics? Only I get a chance to sniff my comics and get high off that Purdy. Do you mind? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Any more comments? I'll have a bit of a drink. Don't roll me up with asking me about DC Comics and all that. Don't. Dr. Monkeybot. Oh, dude. Oh, man. How's it going? Hey, mate. Just cataloguing some comics and look who's doing a live video to keep me company. Thank you, man. You honour me. You really do. Oh, man. Cool. I haven't spoken to you for ages. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, man. I really do. Hope you're doing well. Red Warren, did you read Death Vigil #1? Cause enjoyed that issue, and I think you should pick it up. Oh, what's his name? Sergey. Is it Sergey? Terrible names. You know I am. I've seen his artwork on what's it called? The website that does all the artwork and all that. I can't remember, but I saw his artwork on a website, and it's going to come to me in a minute. I noticed, and I really love his artwork. There's a comic strip that he's doing on that website called Sunstone. Really beautiful, beautifully drawn. might not necessarily be the sort of thing that people who like mainstream comics and some independent comics might. It sort of, yeah, how can we put it? It's a little bit fetishy, shall we say? Um, but it's a really beautifully written, beautifully drawn comic strip, and I really do hope he gets a chance um, to produce that, publish that as a proper comic book. I can't remember what the website is called. It begins with D, which, knowing my brain, it has nothing to do with the letter D. I'll go on with the rest of the rest of the comments once I think. And I apologise if I'm reading these out of context. Red Warren, yeah, I totally agree on your opinions about DC. Thank you, dude. I'm glad somebody does. And the Mahoney Show, and people still question me why I prefer Marvel to DC. It's because of bullshit like that. Exactly. I take it you're talking about the whole thing I said about previously about the Wally West, and if you don't like Black Wally West, then you're racist. It's exactly the same people that I think it's exactly the same people that were going around saying if you didn't want Obama to be the president of the United States of America, you were racist. Seriously? Seriously? I mean, I'm not liberal. I'm not left or right wing. I like to think myself as sort of like an anarchist, if anything. I have always said my viewpoint is it doesn't matter what foot the boot is on, if it's on the left foot or the right foot, it doesn't really matter because the boot's going to be on your head eventually. So so either way, you're gonna end up getting kicked by either the left side or the right side because they're just as bad as one another. But yeah, I take it that's what you mean anyway. So, any more comments? God, this laptop gets hot. Mahoney Show, Scotty Young goodness. Oh yes, it's got to be done. It really has got to be done. Yeah, I think that's it for the comments so far. And we're back again. Oh, just have another sip of this. This is really nice, actually. It's Strongbow Cider Citrus Edge. There goes a bit of advertising, product placement. Not that I'm going to get any money for it, but you never know. If I did, it would go on to comics. So it'd be going for a worthwhile cause. Right. Yes, Purdy. Oh, yes, all right. And I'd buy you and Kirby some bits and pieces as well. And the girlfriend, just in case she watches this. Right. These are my independents. These are my independents in company alphabetical order. And as far as I know, this is the last lot I've got to show you. So, there we go. Brace yourselves. Right. First up. From Avatar Press. Oh, I've just been loving this comic. I really have. Garth Ennis is just an amazing writer. He can write comedy. He can write suspense, horror. He can write action, anything. He's just amazing, and I really don't think that he gets the credit that he deserves to get with his talent. I really don't. Just an amazing guy. I would love, Mr. Ennis, if you're watching this, I would love to meet up with you one day and go down the pub and have a few beers and just have a chat, and just because I think you're just an awesome guy, really. Well, at least your writing is anyway. I don't know what you're like in real life. But anyway, issue 4 of a great comic, Avatar's Caliban. Oh, this is great. If you like, I know I say this every time I show this comic, if you like movies like Alien, or not so much Aliens, but more like Alien or The Thing, or 2001: A Space Odyssey, I suppose, in a sort of way. What else is there? What else am I liking it up? Oh, what was that one where they were the Event Horizon? Those sort of sci-fi horror movies. You are gonna love this. This is just awesome. I can't praise this enough. I really cannot. This is one of those comics that I really do have to have when it on the day that I have to order it off eBay on the day that it comes out, so I get it early, sort of thing, or get it within a few days of it being properly released. I can't wait for this to go to Southampton. I have to pick it up every time it comes out. Fantastic stuff. A comic that I picked up purely by chance. I will admit it. I will admit this. I got the woods and the trees mixed up. Okay, I know. I got Warren Ellis's The Trees mixed up with James Tynion the Fourth's The Woods, but I am so glad I did, because this has been a really interesting comic to read. A school with about 563, I think it was 563 people in it, just disappears off the face of the earth, only to reappear on a strange and very, very dangerous alien planet. I would almost liken this to The Walking Dead, because you get characters in here that they'll introduce, you'll get to know them, and then literally, bang, they're gone, they're dead, they get killed by some strange animal or some strange bug or virus or something like that from this alien world. Yeah, it's just really amazing. I've really enjoyed it. And like I said, it was a complete mistake that I picked up the first issue. So, yeah, The Woods, really good. Boom Studios. Dark Horse Comics. Another comic. I keep on saying I really enjoy these comics, but I do, and I wouldn't be buying them other than The Flash if I wasn't enjoying them. So, you know, this Captain Midnight #12, fantastic stuff. Time displaced superhero. I would say this is sort of like in the vein of Captain America. I would have to say this is really, really in the vein of Captain America, where you've got this guy who was in the Second World War. He was just like the upstanding, the typical like not blue-eyed, blonde-haired, like superhero, because he's got dark hair and brown eyes. But you know, he was the upstanding, figure of truth, justice in the American way in the Second World War, sort of thing, if you will. And he gets sent to the future, or as they know, the present. Really enjoying that. Awesome stuff. Let's have a look what we've got here. Let's do these ones next. Dynamite Comics. If you don't know already, Dynamite have got the licensing to produce new comics based on Gold Key characters, and they are doing phenomenal work. Absolutely brilliant stuff. First up, Dr. Spectre #2 by Mark Waid, and the artist is Neil Edwards. Brilliant stuff. Absolutely amazing. It's sort of like the something like Most Haunted, or those what were they called? Taps. Was it called Taps or Pipes or whatever, or Spooks? The one where they were plumbers, but they used to go around at night, going to haunted places and trying to contact the dead. This is sort of the main character in Dr. Spectre is something like that. They go out debunking or trying to debunk haunted houses, demonic possessions, vampires, werewolves, and that. But with the knowledge that they know that these things actually exist, and they're trying to prove the difference between the fakes and the real monsters. Yeah, Dr. Spectre, Master of the Occult, Mark Waid. Brilliant stuff. It's only a mini-series as well, which I was a bit gutted about. I thought it was just going to be an ongoing one, but then I found out Cheers, Bernie. There, sure. I found out that this is a 4 or 5 issue miniseries with an option to go on to becoming an ongoing series. Hopefully, it's becoming an ongoing series. And again, Solar, Man of the Atom, number 3. Great stuff here. We meet Dr. Solar's daughter. They're trying to make them as close to the original Gold Key stories as that they can, but obviously bringing them up to date and modernising them. And in this series, we're meeting Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom's daughter, who is developing her own set of powers similar to his. And I just love it as well because you get all the physics, technical jargon put in there. It's great. For a geek and a nerd like me, this is just great stuff. Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, number 5, which was the final part of the first story arc. And number 6, which is the first part of the second story arc. Greg Pak is doing brilliant stuff on this. Really enjoying this. He's brought the character of Turok back to life in this series. Yeah, awesome stuff. And finally with this bit, Magnus Robot Fighter, number 0, which I was a little bit about. I have read it. It was okay, but I don't feel like it actually added anything to the Magnus Robot Fighter's history, or it was a bit. Maybe I need to read it again, but it just didn't seem to do anything for me really. In complete contrast, issue 5 of Magnus Robot Fighter. Again, awesome stuff. Really enjoying this. I said it before, Dynamite are doing these Gold Key characters amazing justice. I hope they are really doing amazing stuff with them. I'm wondering if they're going to do things with the Mighty Samson as well. And there was another couple, I'm sure, of the Gold Key characters. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Back to the comments. Another drink. Red Warren, in answer to the Mahoney Show's comment of people questioning why he prefers Marvel to DC, Red Warren says, yeah, but Marvel's pricing is too much. Yes, it is. Again, that's another thing that I really don't want to get on my soapbox about. But comics really need to be cheaper, because it's going to come to a point where only exceptionally rich people or exceptionally stupid people are going to be buying single issue comics. As in stupid people, as in they've got more money than sense. I know I buy a lot of comics in a month. I know I spend a fair bit of money on comics in a month. But it is getting to a point now where I'm having to sit there and think, I like this comic, but I'm not liking it as that much that I have to get it every month. I'm going to have to put it back on the shelf and not pick it up at all, because there's other comics that I want to pick up. Yes, I understand that Marvel, DC, like every other thing like that, is a company and they're trying to make money. But I've always been on the adage of if you sell something for cheap, you sell more of it. If you sell something for more expensive, you will probably not make as much money out of it, because less people will be buying it. If you've got a comic and it's $1 and you've got a comic and it's $2, which one would you go for? $1 or $2? $1. And I'm not being funny, but a lot of times the cheaper comics, especially when you think things like Image Comics, their $2.99 comics have been brilliant, absolutely amazing, better than anything that DC and Marvel have been putting out, especially DC. So yeah. Let's have a look. The Mahoney Show. Probably out of the blue, but if you start talking about it later, I planned it. Are you planning on watching Dawn of the Planet of the Apes when it comes out, and what is your opinion on the original film? Oh, dude, I could tell you some stories about watching Planet of the Apes, but I won't, because maybe if we got sort of get chatting again over sort of like Google when we're not being recorded in that, or in real life, I'll let you know about a few stories I can tell you about Planet of the Apes and the movies, Planet of the Apes movies. I like the original Planet of the Apes movies. I remember watching the TV series as well when I was younger. I really enjoyed watching the Planet of the Apes movies. I have a bit of a difficulty now watching Battle of the Planet of the Apes, but that's something I'll explain to you in private. I didn't watch Rise of the Planet of the Apes for no reason other than I just didn't get around to watching it. I think if I see it somewhere and it's on DVD and it's a couple of quid, I'll probably pick it up. But it's not so much that it doesn't interest me, it's just one of those things that, again, there's other things out there I want to watch, or I'd rather spend £7, £8 on comics, you know. And as for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I have seen some pretty good reviews on it. There's a lot of people that are saying it's a lot better than the first prequel movie, and that's intrigued me. That has intrigued me. I think I might also, to add, I think I might be the only person that actually enjoyed Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes movie with Mark Wahlberg in it. I actually enjoyed that. But then I also enjoyed Daredevil and Man-Thing, and Ang Lee's Hulk as well. I enjoyed that. So there you go. Any more? Nope. That's it for comments. Back on here. The last lot of comics. Oh, let's get comfortable. Last lot of comics. Yes, as I said, I got confused with the woods and the trees. I suppose you could say I couldn't see the woods for the trees. Or the trees for the woods, as it was. But anyway, issue 2, Warren Ellis's Trees. Again, really enjoying this. It's got a sort of a. It's almost got sorry, I've got a cat here in my eye. It's almost got a sort of a World War Z feel to it. You know, like in World War Z, the book, where you have all the different countries around the world and how they react to the zombie pandemic that's going on around the world. This reminds me of that. In you've got these weird alien obelisks that have appeared from nowhere and just settled on the earth and then done nothing, and it shows you all the different ways that each country that's been affected, or that's highlighted in this comic, have been affected, how they deal with these weird alien things that they've been nicknamed trees. America's first thought on these things is they're invading us, we're going to blow them up with nuclear bombs, which did absolutely nothing. You've got, was it China? I'm sure it was in China, where they've got a tree and they've actually sectioned an area off around the tree, and it's become like a mecca for the disenchanted or the artistic type. So you've got poets, artists, all those sort of people congregating around the tree. I'm sure it was in China, and there's a great big wall around it. You know, in a way, that sort of says to me it's a bit like Hong Kong and China, because obviously Hong Kong used to be owned by Britain, and then they gave it back to China, but with provisos that Hong Kong doesn't become communist. They got to be left alone, sort of thing. And there's other countries around the world where, I think, was it in Ecuador, or the first country we saw, where one of the trees dumps a load of toxic waste over everybody, and everybody just gets wiped out, and nobody does anything because they're all just like poor people, and nobody cares that they got wiped out. The rich people just carry on doing what they were doing and being rich, and that's it. But yeah, really enjoying that. I'm sure everybody picked this up. I'm sure everybody picked this up. Can't remember his first name. Kirkman, Outcast, #1. Yes. Yes. If you haven't got this, pick it up. For goodness sake, what's wrong with you? It's another comic about demonic possession, a bit like Dr. Spectre, about demonic possession and the supernatural and all that. All the stuff I like in a book and a comic book and a movie. So definitely worth getting that. Here we go. You'll love this. This, pick it up. Mahoney Show knows about this. Loads of people know about this. If you aren't reading this, you really are missing out on some amazing comic book. Nailbiter #3. Brilliant. If you like TV shows like Dexter or Hannibal or even the X-Files, you will like this. At least the X-Files bit with sort of like the serial killers bit, that they got in there. This is just great. Absolutely brilliant. A town that literally breeds serial killers. 16 serial killers have come from this one town. Awesome stuff. Absolutely awesome. Dream Police. Straczynski's Dream Police. Really enjoying this. Great stuff. I love this one from the first issue that I read, which was published years ago on the Marvel Icon imprint comic stuff. And he's finally brought it out as a proper comic, ongoing comic, issue 3. Brilliant stuff. And these ones, all from the same company, all in alphabetical order. What could they be? I'll tell you in a minute. Let's have a look at the comments. Looking at the comments. Nope. That's it for the comments so far. Let's go on to these. I have to give this comic book company props. I really do. They have only been around again for about 3 years now, and just over 3 years, and they have just been producing some of the best comics I have read in a long time. Purdy, careful girl, come on. They have been producing some of the best comics I've read in a long time. They are doing amazing stuff. The event that they've got going at the moment is just mind-blowing, jaw-droppingly amazing. It's Valiant Comics. I really cannot think of anything bad to say about Valiant Comics. I think even paying $3.99 for their comics is worth the price tag for them. Armor Hunters #2. Brilliant event. It's small as well. It's like 4-issue miniseries, and then there's 2 3-issue miniseries going into it. Plus, it also ties into Unity and X-O Manowar. Great event this has been. Going into that, we have the chrome cover for X-O Manowar #26. I'll take this out and show you the wraparound goodness of it. There you go. How is that for an awesome cover? I don't think my camera gives us justice. Does us justice? Look at that. Brilliant stuff. It's like a, I don't know if you can hear that, plastic cover. That's just great. I know I've seen some people say that the chromium covers they've got now aren't as good as the ones that they used to have. And I understand, I am on the understanding that the company they used to use to produce the chromium covers went bust, went bankrupt. So they had to find somebody else who could produce these. But I've been enjoying the chromium covers anyway. This is a comic that just gets better with each issue. So funny. Quantum and Woody number 12. Just such a hilarious comic. Absolutely brilliant. But for me, at the moment, this has got to be the best comic that Valiant is producing at the moment. I'm looking forward to the Quantum and Woody and Archer and Armstrong miniseries, crossover miniseries, The Delinquents. Really looking forward to that, which comes out in August next month. I'm also looking forward to the death-defying Dr. Mirage, which is a 5-issue miniseries coming out in September. But this, if you're not reading this, you really, really are. I know I've said that about a lot of comics here, but you really are missing out on something amazing. It's Rai. Got to pronounce it right. It's Rai. This is the Plus edition, number 1. I've been after this for ages. Since I found out that it was out, I wanted to get hold of this. The next Plus edition, from what I understand, is the number 1 issue of Death Defying Dr. Mirage. Hopefully that'll be available in the UK. I believe this was, but it was only very limited supply of it in the UK. But yeah, and also finally for this moment, we have got Rai number 3. Look at that. And if you don't believe me that you're missing out on something amazing, let me just show you the interior artwork for this. Let me just show you. Again, I don't think my webcam here, even though it's supposed to be HD, I really don't think this is going to do it justice. Look at that. If you're not reading this, you really are missing out on something. Even if you've got to get rid of a comic that you're reading that comes from Marvel or DC, you really should be picking this up. And if you do pick it up and you do enjoy it, let Valiant Entertainment know. Say I sent you. Alright. There you go. It's just so beautifully painted. I found out that this is going on for 5 issues. So we've got another 2 issues of this. It's stopping in September, but starting up again in December this year, January next year. It's just basically just to give the artist, the creative team, and especially the artist, a chance to catch up with themselves with the work. But if you look at this here, I don't mind if this creative team wants to have a break for a couple of months just so they can produce work like this. I have no problem with that. I really don't. Just amazing. That's the cover. That's the cover for Rai number 4, or one of the covers for Rai number 4. Absolutely beautiful. There you go. So there you go. That's it. That's all I've got to show you. Let's just have a look at the comments. I'd just like to say, actually, I'd just like to say, whilst the comments are refreshing, and if there is any more left up here, I would just like to say to, he probably ain't going to be seeing this, but if anybody is out there and they're watching this, let him know. So I say, get well soon to Bernie Wrightson. I on the understanding he had several mild or small seizures or strokes when a few days ago, due to the fast reaction to the people around him and the hospital he was sent to. I'm on the understanding that he is in a stable condition. He is getting better, but I just like to send my well wishes and positive energy and all that stuff to him. Hope he gets better soon. His artwork is just some of the best that anybody could ever produce anywhere ever, and I really do hope that he gets better soon and makes a full recovery and makes a full recovery quickly. So yeah, that's that. As for the comments, refresh them one more time. Nope, that's it. That's it for the comments. That's it for the comics. That's it for this whole video then. Thank you everybody who watched this video. Thank you everybody who commented on this video. I'm down to one viewer now. Everybody went, it's finished now, he's going. This is all the blurb at the bottom at the end of it now. Yes, thank you all, everybody who watched this video whilst it was going live. Thank you everybody who's hopefully going to be watching this video when it goes up on YouTube properly. If I say this every video that I do this, and it ain't going to change. If you've got any information on anything that I've shown you in this video, I am not the be-all and end-all of knowledge when it comes to comics. I know a little bit. There are people out there that I watch the videos of on YouTube, and I go, "Wow, I never knew that. That's amazing, you know that." So if you know of any, you've got any information on the comics that I've showed you, or you've got some correct information on the comics that I've showed in this video, please feel free to put it in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you just want to say hi, again, comment section down below. That's what it's there for. If you like the video, thumbs up. They're always great. If you liked it that much, feel free to subscribe. There's a button down here somewhere, big red button sort of thing. Press that to subscribe. If for whatever reason you felt that you didn't like the video, feel free to thumbs down. Whatever. But again, as I always say at the end of these videos, if you do thumbs down, say why you thumbs down. Don't just thumbs down for no reason. Yeah, you know who you are. I know where you live. I do. It just leaves me to say now, thank you again, everybody, for watching. It wouldn't be as enjoyable doing these videos if you guys didn't watch and comment on them. Love the comics that you read. Seriously, love them. Not in the biblical sense, obviously, but love them nonetheless. Take care of them. Cherish them. You never know when they're going to be gone. And yeah, stay cool. And ta-ta for now.